Okay. We're up to Isches. The Rebbe discussed was Mechadish. We were talking about the high madreges of mitzvahs b'chlal, and especially of teshuvah, which means the pasuk mitzvah hazois that he brought down. The pasuk says loy nifleisi v'loy rechoikohi. We had two taichin. One mitzvah hazois talks about all mitzvahs. And the other thing is mitzvah Zois talks about mitzvahs teshuvah. And in the Maimer over there, he explains that mitzvahs teshuvah is greater than the mitzvahs because mitzvahs teshuvah taps into the Bal Horotzin. Mitzvahs are Rotzin and Chochmah. The Rotzin Elyon, and then as it comes down to the level of Chochmah and the reason and the Tam. But he was machadish that when we say loy nifleisi mimcha v'loy rechoikohi, when we're talking about, first he discusses all mitzvahs. So notwithstanding that the mitzvahs are rechoika and nifleisi is mimcha, from you they're not rechoika and they're not nifleisi, which means that the person gets the levels of Ratzin and the level of the Chokhmah. Lo nifleisi. But it was Mechadish that even to call it Lo nifleisi and V'lo rechoika, the person has to, the Torah, it has to at least come down to the level of Alpayim Shona Kodma Torah Lo'ilam. The Torah Ba'atzma is higher than Nifleis and Rechoika. The Torah in of itself, to say Nifleis Rechoika means there's a shaykhis to it. And you're saying, no, it's Nifleis and Rechoika, but it still has a shaykhis. But the Torah Be'etzem, before it was Yordo, that's not even Nifleis higher Madrega than even Nifleis and Rechoika. But yet, this is included in the pasuk when it says "Lo nifleisi v'lo rechoikohi," that even that madrege also comes down to the person. The madrege of the way it's be'etzem, even higher than nifleis and rechoiko. This is in madrege when we talk mitzvah zois, is talking about all mitzvahs. Now, when we talk about mitzvahs teshuvah, mitzvahs teshuvah is higher than lo nifleis and lo rechoikohi, because the mitzvah of teshuvah is in the Bal HaRotzin, because that's what teshuvah is, that even if you didn't do the Rotzin, you tap into the Bal HaRotzin. So the nifleis and the rechoiko is even higher than the nifleis of the rechoiko from stam mitzvahs. But yet, that's still not the highest level. There is the level of the tshuva be'etzem mitzad atzma is higher than nifleis v'rechoika, and we get that all through tshuva. That's what the Rebbe is going to be mamshich now in Oisches. So let's look inside. Behinei al derech zehu lapirish, similar to what we just explained, according to the meaning that mitzvah hazois lo nifleis v'rechoika refers to all mitzvahs, but also according to the pirush. The mitzvah is koyal mitzvah satshuva. The mitzvah refers to the mitzvah tshuva. So we're also going to explain that the level of tshuva, which is pella and richak, is not yet the highest level. There's even a higher level, and that too comes to the person. This that tshuva is in the level of pella verichuk, even to that level. That's how the level of tshuva descended to come down below. But the way the tshuva by itself, it also doesn't apply to it the description of pella verichuk. It's higher. Tshuva by itself is even higher pella verichuk. Now, even though the pella verichuk of tshuva is higher than the pella verichuk than stam mitzvahs, v'hagam sha'pella verichuk the tshuva the Pella and the Dist of Tshuva who Naila, they're on an elevated level. Yoiser ma Pella v'arichuk shebechol ha-mitzvahs, more than Pella richuk in all the mitzvahs. As he explains, Sha'apella v'arichuk da'apella v'arichuk shebechol ha-mitzvahs, what is the level of Pella and richuk which all mitzvahs, hu inyan haratzon v'achokma, we're talking about the ratzon el chokma. The ratzon is the Pella, and the richuk is the chokma, kenal sivov, as we said earlier in sivov. So that's by all mitzvahs. But b'kivon shetshuva hi bebala ratzon, kenal siv dalet. But since tshuva is higher than all the mitzvahs, because that taps into the bal haratzon, the master of the ratzon. So therefore, move on. So it's understood that the level of Pella, the level of Richuk of Tshuva is even in a higher way. So why are we talking about that Tshuva Mitzad Atzmo is higher? We're already, Pella and the Richuk are already very high because it's higher than the Pella and the Richuk from mitzvahs, because that's only the Chochmah and Rotzen, and this isn't the Bal Rotzen. But Mikol Mokoim, but still, Mekiv on Shahat Toyar Pella. Since when we describe the description of Pella, Umikol Shkinat Toyar Richuk, and for certain, the description of distant, because Pella is more separate. The Richuk only means far. So Gam Kemoshu Betachlis Ha'ilu, even as it is in total greatness on the highest of level, Moira, it still points when you say that it's Pala V'Dichuk, that there's a connection there still. It's mufla from something. It's rochik. Moira Shadover HaMufla, Yesh Lo Yezer Shayches LaHadover Shemufla Mimenu. He has some sort of a connection to the item, to the matter, which is higher from it. Lochein, and therefore, Bahadarga, the tshuva kemoshi mitzad atzmo bal horotzin, in the darga of the tshuva as it is on itself in the bal horotzin, not how the tshuva comes down to the person, but as the level of tshuva is in the bal horotzin, in the master of the will, and shayich loimer loshum pella v'richuk doesn't even apply to say there the language of wondrous and distant, because it's beyond that. It's not connected. As I said before, the mushal, you're not going to say that it's so high that you can't touch it with your hands. That's not something which is applicable. And when he talks about mitzvah, which in this interpretation, mitzvah tshuva, that it is wondrous and distant, it's after the level of tshuva has descended to be extended here below. After that extension, that is when we say that it's niflas and rechoika. But be'etzem, it's higher. But the Rebbe is going to add now, just like we said before, that loy niflasi, we're getting even more than niflas and rechoika. We're getting the etzem here too. We get the etzem of the level of teshuva, the way it is in the level of Baal Horotzen by itself before it comes down. The Eshloimar, we can say the Masha Kosuv Loy Niflesi Mimcha V'Loy Rechoikohi, that it's not wondrous, it's not distant. Hakavona Bazehi Lahatshuva Kimoi Shemchinas Pella V'Richuk. So what the pasuk means here is taka the tshuva as it is in the level of Pella V'Richuk within tshuva, but also v'gam lahat tshuva kimoishi mitzad shorsha bebal rotzin. Also the level of tshuva as it is from its root in the bal rotzin. Shalamayla mehatoyar de Pella V'Richuk, which is higher than the description of Pella V'Richuk. Just like we talked before about all the mitzvahs that were mamshich from the higher level of the mitzvahs, which is higher than Rotzin and Chochmah. Here too, it's higher than the level of the Baal HaRotzin, higher than the level of Nifleis and Rechaika from the level of Tshuva, but in the Baal HaRotzin itself. Even that higher level of tshuva, that's not mentioned in the pasuk. The pasuk talks only about niflos and rechoika, but that too is included. That too is not far, not distant for you. And this also explains, the pasuk says, Ki hamitzvah hazois asher anoichi mitzabecha. This mitzvah that we know that the level of anoichi I is a very high level. That's the atzmus by himself. Anoichi, with no description. Lo yisramis le b'shumois lo. This is not. This is the highest level. The level of anoichi I, whoever I am, meaning the highest level of godliness. But here the pasuk says this mitzvah, which here is referencing the mitzvahs of tshuva. So the pasuk says that the mitzvah of tshuva is anoichi mitzabecha, that I. So this is a hint. It references the anoichi. Shagam hatshuva k'moi shehi mitzad anoichi. Also the tshuva, which is from the perspective of anoichi, which is anoichi mishanoichi. I, whoever I am, meaning not descriptive, but just Hashem himself. It's not wondrous and not distant. So we're including here. So the Rebbe is including here in this ois, saying that just like we explained before by mitzvahs in general, that even though the pasuk is talking about specifically it also includes the higher level of the etzem, which is beyond, before Torah and mitzvahs came down, but in the etzem of Torah and mitzvahs before the Alpaim Shana Kodma. Here too, when we talk about Shuvah, we're mamshich the level, not only the level of Rechaika and Nifleis, but also the level of Anoichi. That's why Anoichi Mitzavcha, that too is nimshech through the level of Shuvah, Leid Rechaika. Oistes. How come? How do we get all this highest level? Because v'atamozeh ki b'matan Torah al yidei hadibur. Why do we get it? Because by matan Torah, the Eibishter said Anoichi havaya lekecha. The Eibishter said Anoichi, that the level of Anoichi becomes havaya lekecha, becomes havaya your God. Nasa came b'kol echad v'echad miYisrael. So this became by each and every one of the Yidden that Sha'anoichi, that the level of Anoichi, Al Yidei Shenimshech B'Havaya, Anoichi Havaya, Hu Elekecha, becomes your God, which means Koichacha V'Chayusecha, becomes your power and your energy, your vitality, your life. Meaning that the highest level of Anoichi comes down to become in the Pnimius, the Koyach and the Chayus of a Yid. That's Anoichi Hashem Elekecha. That's how come we get Anoichi Mitzavecha through the mitzvah of Tshuva. The Rebbe is going to ask an interesting question now. In the Maimer, it explains that the level of Tshuva seems to be even higher than Anoichi Havaya Elekecha. Here we're saying, how do we get by Tshuva the level of Sher Anoichi Mitzavecha? Because we got it by Matan Torah. By Matan Torah it says Anoichi Hashem Elekecha. Hashem gave us the Anoichi. But in the Maimer over there, he explains that Tshuva is in a higher level than the Anoichi Mitzavcha is in a higher level than Anoichi Havaya Lekecha than by Matan Torah. Because over here it doesn't say Anoichi Havaya, it just says Anoichi. It explains in the Maimer that Anoichi Havaya Lekecha, that's Anoichi that comes down to Havaya Lekecha. And Tshuva gets Anoichi not the way it's Havaya Lekecha. But here the Rebbe is explaining, how does a Yid get the koyach from Anoichi? Because of Matan Torah, but it seems like Matan Torah didn't quite get the level of Anoichi that Tshuva gets. How could we say that it comes from Anoichi Havaya Lekecha? Let's look inside. V'hagam dezeh she'Anoichi nase lekecha. This that we say Anoichi becomes a lekecha, hu k'moi she'nimshech b'Havaya, that is the way it extends. In Havaya, Anoichi Havaya becomes a lekecha. Explained in the Maimer Hachiluk, the difference between mitzvahs hatshuva. L'chol ha-mitzvahs, the difference between mitzvah of tshuva and all the mitzvahs. The b'tshuva kesiv asher anoichi mitzavcha. By tshuva it says, ki ha-mitzvah hazeh asher anoichi mitzavcha, anoichi stam. It doesn't say anoichi havayi mitzavcha. It just says anoichi mitzavcha, anoichi stam. V'chol ha-mitzvahs kesiv, but by all the mitzvahs it says, anoichi Hashem, anoichi Hashem elikecha. It says anoichi Hashem, kimo anoichi, k'ma shenimshach b'havayi. So, that by the level of mitzvahs, by Matan Torah, it's not the same level, not as high as by the mitzvah of tshuva, which comes directly from Havaya. Over there, it's Hanoichi, plain by tshuva. But here we're saying, where does a yid get the koyach to bring down the Hanoichi, to also bring it down? It's from Matan Torah, but Matan Torah was Hanoichi Havaya. The Rebbe explains that even though Begilui, Anoichi Havaya Lekecha is all the mitzvah. Mitzvah of tshuva is part of all the mitzvahs. So that would include the Emerson, the mitzvahs of tshuva too. That also the mitzvah of tshuva is Anoichi Havaya Lekecha. This that we're saying, Asher Anoichi, that Begilui, it comes out by the mitzvahs of teshuva, but really the power for mitzvahs of teshuva also comes from Anoichi Havaya Lekecha. The Rebbe explains, Mekomaka. Al pi hayadua, based on that it's known Shabadi Buranoichi, including kol ha-mitzvahs, that in the saying of Anoichi include all the mitzvahs. Gam mitzvahs hatshuva, also the mitzvah of tshuva. Yesh loymar, so we can say Shebanoichi havaya shebematan Torah. So we can't say Anoichi havaya lekecha is besides tshuva. Tshuva is a higher level. Everything is included in Anoichi havaya. So the Anoichi Havaya shematan Torah nichlo gam bechinas Anoichi kumusha b'atzmusay. So even though Anoichi, as it's in Atzmusay, in Hashem Himself, what we get by tshuva, that also is included in Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, which is l'mayla ma'amshacha b'havaya, which is higher than namshach and havaya. Even though the pasuk says Anoichi Havaya Elokecha by Matan Torah, but it really includes Anoichi, which is higher than havaya, because it includes the mitzvahs of teshuva. Where is it revealed that it's Anoichi from Atzmus who be mitzvahs hatshuva in the mitzvah of tshuva? But the bottom line is we all got the power of Anoichi, even for the level of Anoichi that is nimshach through tshuva at the time of Matan Torah, because everything is included in Matan Torah. Move on. From this understood, that during Matan Torah, by every one and one of the Jewish people, it became Anoichi hu Elikecha, becomes your koyach, your chayes, koychacha v'chayesecha, ugam dechinas Anoichi shalamayla mehamshacha b'avaya. It's also, we got also the level of Anoichi, which is higher than Hamshacha b'Havaya. Even though in the pasuk it says Anoichi Havaya, but we got even the higher level. When a person wishes to wake up, arouse himself to do tshuva, even before he does tshuva, that way it's revealed by him that the level of Anoichi, which includes even the Anoichi which is higher than Havaya, because we're talking about Tshuva, which is Anoichi Stam, which is higher than Havaya. Is your koyach and chayes, it comes down to primis. Hainu sheze shayich gam lehanaran shaloi lanefesh ruach neshama shaloi. That level of Anoichi also has a connection to your nefesh ruach neshama of the yid. And through that, because the mitzvah we're talking about is before he's doing it. He's just misordered for tshuva. He's not that he does tshuva, but mitzvah hazois not this means he can do tshuva. So by day ha mitzvah hazois tshuva asher anoichi mitzavcha, that the mitzvah is tshuva, that I anoichi mitzavcha, loy nifleisi mimcha v'loy rechoiko, that is not far away and it's not distant. All these levels, v'adrabe, korei v'lecha, as the pasuk continues there, korei v'lecha adover mi'oid, this is very close to you, beficha bilvavcha, in your mouth and in your heart, lasoisei, to do. Shakorei me'oid lekol echad mi'Yisrael, it is very close for every yid, lagia litshuva, to reach tshuva. Loy rak ledargas tshuva, not only to the step of tshuva, as it's descended to be in a level of pella v'nichuk. The pasuk talks befedish, loy nifleis v'loy rechoike, but not only that level, elagam ledargas hatshuva, but even to the level of tshuva, asher anoichi mitzavacha, the level of anoichi, which is beyond the descent to the level of tshuva. That level of anoichi is also karev. It's also close to get more than just to the chayka niflos level, but also the level of anoichi. So now we're going to explain in Ois Yud, the Rebbe asked the question, how could we say that the noisor, which we learned before is makifim, should be va'at u'banayich? Banayich, we said that's the koiches pnimim. How could the koiches makifim come down to the koiches pnimim? But the Rebbe just explained that this is the idea that we're saying over here, that we can bring down that highest level of makifim into a pnimis. That's the whole nakuda from this idea of loyre nifleisi v'loyre choyka, and as the Rebbe elaborated, not only nifleis and choyka, but even the etzem, the anoichi, is nimshach. V'zeu yud, v'zeu v'atu b'nayich tichyi b'noiser. You will live b'noiser. Shagam koiches apnimim da neshama. That also the inner powers of the neshama. Yichyu b'noiser. You will live with the noiser. The leftover, we said before, that's the makifim, that's the shiraim shel maila. Dagam shenoiser hu makif, even though that noiser is makif, it's not only that it surrounds, but shu makif harochik, it's the distant makif, as we explained earlier. Mikol mokim nimshach, we have the level of atik, the makif harochik. Still extend from that level of makif also to the inner powers of the soul. Because when through tshuva mizgala is revealed, it's revealed that anoichi is a lekecha, that even the level of a lekech of a anoichi is a lekecha v'chayisecha, as we were learning, asher anoichi mitzavcha. V'aderech shenizbar li'il siftes be'inyan loy nifleisi mimcha, that it's not wonders from you, meaning that we have the revelation from the etzem of the level of anoichi. So, but the Rebbe explains not like this. El she'inyan loy nifleisi mimcha. When we say that it's not far from you, which means we're talking about the person through teshuvah, he can tap in to the koiches makifim. Loy nifleisi mimchahu shekoiches apnimin de aneshama, that the inner powers of the soul, al yidei harotzin lasis teshuvah, when you have the desire to do teshuvah, mitzvah hazois, when you want to do teshuvah, loy nifleisi, when you want to do teshuvah, you can reach hem be'ofen shal yodom efsher lahagia la makifim. You have the ability to reach the makifim. That's the pshat. Asher anoichi mitzavecho hayom loy nifleisi. You have the ability to tap in. That's the pshat in hamitzvah zois. But the inyan va'atu banayich tichya banoisor, over there he's talking about the hamshocha comes from the makifim. Hu shekoiches hapnimim. over there, that tichi banoisar, that you live with the makifim, which koiches hapnimim chayim, b'chayis pnimi, they live with an inner vitality, b'hanoisar shenimshach al yidei hatshuva. That noisar that comes through to shuva comes down into the koiches pnimiyim. Tichi baratu bonayich, the koiches, the ava v'yira, the bonim, the tultis of, as we called, explained before, they live b'chayis pnimis b'hanoisar shenimshach al dei hatshuva. The noiser that comes through to shuva, which we are mamshich asher anoichim etzavecha. So then the hamshacha comes, tichi b'noiser comes down, talking about the makifim. So the first pasuk talks about that we're able to tap into the level of makifim. The second pasuk, the tichi b'noiser, is talking about how the makifim impact the premium. That the makif hakorev v'gam b'noiser the makif harochel, that the koiches pnimium get from the makif hakorev and also makif harochel. V'yesh loymar, and the Rebbe said we can say this is all the chiddush of the Maimer. That when we say noisar, even though we're talking about makifim, but we also include the essence which is higher than the definition of makif upnimi, even in a higher level, even though it's saying and we're talking about specifically that noisar is makif harochik, makif hakorev, but we also get and also are vitalized by the highest of the level. That's how the makif impacts and impresses also and works on the koiches hapnimim as well. The Rebbe says, "V'yesh lekasher zeh gam in pirush Razal ala posik v'atu banayich tichye banoisa." To connect this with the interpretation of our sages of lesser memory on the posik, it says, "You and your children will live with the noisar." So it says, it explains, live for when? Till tchiyas hamesim, ad sheyichya hamesim. That vitality that you get will sustain you till the mesim are revived. What's the connection to tchiyas hamesim? So it says, "Ki b'tchiyas hamesim yeh chayis haguf mahasoivev." That's when the body will vitalize, the vitalization of the body. How would the energy, the life of the body come from Seviv, come from Neisar? So, because that's when the guf is going to get the Neisar. Ba'al yidei inyan atu banayich tichya banoisar. When the Yid lives by, you and your children live by the Neisar, meaning that the koiches pnimis are energized by the Neisar, by the makifim. Shahachayis, the koiches hapnimim, the neshama hu ben Neisar. The energy of the inner koiches is in the level from the leftover. So also, in the future to come, the energy of the body will come from Seviv. Right now, the neshama lives from the Neisar. That's what we're doing. Atu banayich, the level of the Neisar. But this will bring us to the Tchiyas HaMesim, in which the Guf will live from the Seviv. The Rebbe has the bracket. It's not only the Guf will live from the Seviv, just like the neshama lives now from the Seviv, but Fakert, the guf will be the one that will vitalize the neshama. Not only will it live from the seviv, el shachayis da guf naila yosef will be on a higher level. The chayis the word shalochein haneshama tiyin nizonis maguf. The soul will be sustained, fed from the body. Now the body lives from the soul. Then the soul will live from the body. This is also the connection to tshuva, to the future redemption. So we say, because we say Ein Yisrael Negolin Ela b'tshuva, that the Yidden will be redeemed of tshuva, which means the Geula comes through tshuva. Why through tshuva? And also we say, Mashiach is going to bring tzaddikim to tshuva. So we see that Mashiach and the Geula is connected to tshuva. Why is the connection to tshuva? Ki hamshochesh al yidei tshuva, because what extends through tshuva, he be'oifon shemimeno nimshach chayus gam lekoiches hapnimim. What comes through tshuva is that from tshuva, from the level of makiv, it comes down also an energy to the inner koiches, as we say, at ubanayich tichi banoisar, that the banayich, at ubanayich, the koiches pnimim living by the makiv. So that's why that is what tshuva accomplishes. Vashleim is the gula ha'asida, and what is the wholesomeness of the future redemption? He b'tchias hamesim. That is tchias hamesim. Shechayis haguf yiyeh ma'aseviv. That the body's life will be from the seviv, just like the koiches pnimim right now have the chayis from noisar, from seviv. La'asi, the guf will have the chayis from seviv. And lochein ha'yidei she'Yisrael leish in tshuva. That's why through Yindun tshuva miyad hein nigolim, they're immediately redeemed b'geula hamitis v'ashlema de Mashiach tzidkenu, through the true and complete redemption of Mashiach tzidkenu. Yovev yigalenu v'lechenu k'mimiyus la'artzenu. Let him come and redeem us and bring us quickly to our land. Bagola didan mamish, very soon in our days. Okay, we'll leave it over here, and tomorrow we'll start a new Maimer, Be'ezus Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. See you then. Bye bye.